There's more.
Isn't that neat?
Jess Sims with Appalachian Voices down in Richmond, and Elda Casello, Seacan, said they were going to plunge into the James River to raise money for Seacan. I told them it's crazy. Then they said, come down and join us. Come jump in the River. I said, no, you're crazy. Then we had a biological opinion on this MVP thing, and the candy darter fish is one of the things that was involved, and I was on a Zoom meeting, and I thought, you know, I haven't been able to climb a tree or something like that, but I can do this. I can try to raise some money. My birthday was coming up, and last year I did a fundraiser for Sweet Springs. We raised $1,500. I said, I can do a fundraiser for, but who to do it for? I wanted to do it for my local Indian Creek Watershed Association, and I also wanted to do it for Washington Rivers. So I used the Facebook fundraiser for Washington Rivers, and Jess helped me set up a GoFundMe for Indian Creek. And so those two parallel, and I wanted to raise $2,000. Somebody said, well, we'll give you $2,000 not to jump in. Right now, about now, ready to take you up on that deal.
Yes.
So,
pass the hat around.
So then they have, the Indian Creek Watershed has a online way to donate. People brought money. We've had checks mailed. The first donation I got, I received, was from Mark Tander up in Nebraska. Before I even launched the fundraiser, I was going to do it. I said, I'm sending you $100. So we've gotten donations from, I think, about 12 different states so far. I'm really appreciative of everything that everybody's done. I want to talk about a couple of things. Two pictures here. First, everybody kind of knows what the candy darter is. Why am I doing this? Well, Indian Creek and Hans Creek, which we're going to go to next, are places when I was a kid we used to catch candy darters. Not many of them, they were about gone. But I literally caught candy darters 100 feet up, 100 yards up the creek here. And that stretch right along there was a good place for them. And hopefully we can keep this creek pure enough that the National Fish Hatchery at White Sulphur is breeding them. Maybe one day we can get this fish back in these two creeks. But it takes, we have more than, I asked Nancy if she wants to talk about Indian Creek. They do more than just fight this pipeline. They have been very active in protecting the watershed, Indian Creek, and all over the county for how many years, Nancy? 20?
1996, I think.
Okay.
No?
They literally do a float in the spring. If you want to come and, if they do it this year, they start at the old mill up here in Greenville, and they float down the creek to at least this point and take the trash out of the creek. So this is a kind of a good spot for that too. This is a fishing hole. This is a swimming hole. Gladys, Bonnie, raised right over there. Bob's her husband. They played in this creek. This is their backyard. Petrie owns this field here. Petrie's over there. Her and her brothers own this field. So it's also a baptismal site. My sister was baptized right over there. So there's lots of symbolics with this thing. This picture, which is not very good, is a picture of me being baptized. A half a mile up the creek where MVP is trying to cross it. The Methodist Church in Greenville is the oldest continuous congregation west of the Allegheny Mountains. That's a baptismal spot for probably 150 years. Dozens and dozens. My best friends, me and my two best friends at the time were baptized up there. This is a picture of Otis Pence. Some of you know Otis. Some of you related to Otis. Otis lived up here. We lost him 2 years ago now. and he was the one of them that baptized me. So cultural heritage, sacred places. Indian Creek, West Indian Rivers is fighting for that. Now, this is the West Indian Rivers representative right there getting cake all over his face. Y'all got to get a picture of that. Turn around there, everybody get a picture of this. This is a guy that's really enjoy. Turn around there, Ridge. Get a picture of Ridge. So,
You look great.
that is the best. So, Autumn, Crow, you want to talk about West Indian Rivers?
I was trying to get her attention to get a natural
I only have one
shot
question.
where you had the pose. It was
You
looking
must
cool,
have
you
a lot
know.
of devil in you if it took 2 men to bury you.
They almost dropped me. Otis said he almost didn't get me up that day.
No wonder so many.
Okay, Autumn and
Somebody wants him, or he's gonna get into the rest of that cake.
If anybody wants.
Hi everyone, I didn't really have a speech prepared today, but Autumn Crow, I'm the program director for West Virginia Rivers Coalition, and we work throughout the state of West Virginia to make sure all of our rivers are swimmable, fishable, and drinkable, both now and for future generations. And so we've been working on this pipeline issue for, well, since it was first proposed in 2014. I'm happy to see as I drove down here from Greenbrier County that the Greenbrier River isn't crossed, that Indian Creek isn't crossed yet, and all of the other thousands of water bodies that are in Mountain Valley's path have yet to be crossed. Well, a few of them have. But we knew when they first proposed this project that there were going to be severe impacts to all of the rivers and streams within the path and the wetlands. And we developed a water quality monitoring program. Maury is our star volunteer that goes out, monitors the pipeline route all the way into Wetzel County and back down to Monroe County to make sure that the pipeline company isn't getting mud in our creeks. And how many complaints have you submitted? 200 and
236 as of Thursday.
yeah. So that's 236 instances that Maury's seen that mud has gotten in the creeks and erosion controls have failed. So who knows how many have actually occurred that Maury hasn't witnessed and other volunteers haven't witnessed. So we know that this project cannot be constructed properly, and that's why we're fighting to keep our rivers clean and drinkable and fishable, and as we'll see soon, swimmable.
Well, I don't know about that. So, and it's more than just pipelines. It's a lot of projects. It's industrial poultry farms all over the state, and they're trying to come into Monroe County.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that impact our drinking water, and if it wasn't for great groups like Indian Creek and West Indian Rivers, we wouldn't be able to live here. I want to mention two more things right quick. When we leave here, you'll see a sign. There's a sign that says "Welcome to the beautiful Hands Creek Valley" up there. And right beside of it is a brand new sign that was just erected this week for the County Land Conservancy program. And the LaRue's, their uncle, has put this farm here into the Land Conservancy. Their other uncle has land in the Conservancy down here. Mr. McGrady has land in the Conservancy. The Ellisons have land in the Conservancy. The Ernie Long has it in the Conservancy. So at least 2/3 of Hands Creek has been conserved, and I hope that eventually more will be. The other thing is I'm a volunteer at the Eagle Brigade. We have our Eagle survey in March in 2 weeks, and there was little eagles here when I got here. We see them quite often here, and if you're wanting to know more about that and want to go out and sit around in the cold and look for eagles and watch them in the nest, Bob is a volunteer. He's got the easiest job. Eagle, they actually live behind his house.
We saw one just a while ago.
Yeah, I was telling Autumn I was hoping they'd make a cameo, and they have. So, I think with that, I think it's,
Thing before you start?
yeah.
So one other thing that West Virginia Rivers Coalition does is keep track of what's going on in the legislative session. And I just wanted to let you know that the session is active right now. We're like a couple days away from crossover day, which means like a lot of the bad bills will die because if they don't pass one house, they can't make it into the other Senate. But there's a couple things that are happening right now that are really important to protect our public lands and our water. There's a really bad bill right now which would provide exemptions for above ground storage tanks, like the storage tank that leaked and got into the Elk River that damaged the water supply for Charleston. So we want to make sure that that act stays intact and that there are no exemptions for that. So you can contact your legislators and tell them not to gut the above ground storage tank act. And then the other really bad bill right now is it would privatize all of our state parks and state forests. It would allow private developers to come in, build ATV trails, build casinos, big fancy lodges that would drive the price up for locals and just destroy the natural beauty of all of our, and the serenity of all of our parks and forests. So make sure you contact your legislators and tell them to vote against the bill that would privatize our state parks and forests.
So I see Preserve, Montgomery County here, and people from Monroe County. So how many people here are from Virginia? Got 2, 3. That's Jamie Hill over there. He's going to help pull me out of the creek, hopefully, or throw me in. I think Russell's going to help me keep. Bob Carter here is whitewater rafter, minister, a member of the Raven family. So he's the closest thing to a native spiritual, and is a preacher. So he's going to do a water blessing down here, and he's also ready to jump in, and maybe I'll just let him do it and I'll watch. Okay, well, let's walk down.
Well, wait a minute. I think we are.
Oh, I got one. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
you have one more.
Oh, one thing. So right now, you just reminded me. Right now, we know that Indian Creek has over $3,000.
Yay.
We know that West Virginia Rivers has over $2,000.
All right.
Hopefully by this weekend, by the time this fundraiser ends, which will probably be another month, but hopefully we can get maybe another 1,000 by the end of the day today, and hopefully we can maybe get another 1,000 by the end of next month. There's gonna be a blog and stuff about it. And Nancy, and you want to go up there and get ready to live
Okay.
stream?
I just wanted to say, Maury, that I think we all ought to take a moment to give a cheer to Maury for what he's about to do and to thank him
Or drag me
for all
out,
he's
just tell me.
done through all of this. Nobody's walked more miles or taken more photos or spoken more words.
About 50,000 photos.
Hip hip hooray for Maury!
Let's go to the creek. Let's go get this out of the way. Not that cool that water is.